I know that a lot of us guys quietly rehearse our death scene. Final bullet, final hill, final breath. And if I can't live perfectly, then I'll die perfectly. And today I'm not trying to minimize or shit on courage in any way, but I want to ask the question, are we more than the way we imagine ourselves dying? I would spend a little too much time storyboarding and thinking about how it would go down, hoping that maybe the solo from Freebird would be playing in the background, and how the funeral would look like, as fucking strange as that sounds, or what the sacrifice I made would actually do. So if you ever thought, I'll go out the right way, this one's for us. I'm not trying to get you raring to go to die, so put your boner back in your pants and we're gonna have a conversation about how we get taught to value a beautiful ending over a long, faithful life. And we're gonna use video game last stands as a mirror, and we're gonna take what is helpful to us and we'll leave what's not so helpful. But before we jump into all of this, why does this fantasy feel so damn clean? Why do we love last stands? I think the reason we value dying so much is because it takes all your pain and cashes it out in one single act. There's no repair, no awkward apologies. Just the mundane shit gets put away and it promises control and meaning when life gets messy. Psych-wise, when we're reminded of death, we cling harder to the stories where someone dies for something bigger than themselves. That's literally what the terror management theory says. Heroic sacrifice is a cheat code for feeling like we'll matter after we're gone. Sad, tragic stories also give us a safe way to feel heavy emotions and think about what really matters without our real life blowing up and shit. And for a lot of men, for a lot of dudes, we've been quietly taught that our worth is measured in how expendable we're willing to be, how much we'll sacrifice, how little we'll need. So the perfect last stand feels like the one moment you finally did enough. Real life is text messages you don't want to send, conversations you don't want to have. It's a bunch of mundane, monotonous shit. Boring and maybe not so bombastic, and the last stand just does away with all of that. Bam, new shirt. Now we're gonna grab all our feelings and we're gonna test them against 4 key moments that live rent-free in our heads. We're gonna talk about Halo Reach, Red Dead Redemption, Gears of War 3, Spec Ops: The Line, and a bonus 5th one at the very end. Oh shit, I'm doing YouTuber shit. Guess you're gonna have to stay here till the very end. And if I happen to miss one you really like or one of your favorites, shut the fuck up. Nah, I'm kidding. Just tell me in the comments. Hit me up. All right, first up, we're talking about Halo Reach, specifically Lone Wolf, you already know, and Noble 6, the GOAT, the homie. Noble team is gone, and it's just you, baby. You're left behind. And the encounter keeps scaling until it's unwinnable by design. The game lets you fight until the visor cracks, you throw that shit off to the side, and you go down swinging. Ooh, baby, we're starting out pretty strong. I love this last mission, and to be honest, I got to Halo Reach kinda late, because I was one of those people that just... I don't like prequels, and I was just like, bro, I want to keep going forward. Why the fuck do I want to go backwards? Whatever, the point is I didn't want to play it, but I got to it late. And when I did finally get to it, and I get to this last part, and you just see the objective at the top, and all you see is survive. And this last stand in Halo is almost as good as the one of those 2 guys playing Halo 2 before the servers went down. Anyway, it all seems nice and all, and it's beautiful and all that, but let's see what this can give us and what it quietly takes from us. Alright, so what does Halo Reach give us? It gives us a clean story of service, your pain converted into someone else's future. But what it can steal, if we're not careful, is the idea that you're only meaningful when you disappear. But the reality check here is that there's meaning in staying, healing, parenting, mentoring, showing up again tomorrow. Service is greater than the self, sure, but not if you think that the self is equal to 0. If your story erases you, then whose life are you living, bitch? You can't just think that life would be better for everyone else if you were gone. Trust me, I've thought the same thing. And no, you can't just cash in. There's nobility in sticking around. What if all this could go away and I could show my worth with this one big action? But it's not like that. Most hero work is the dishes. It's rides to practice. It's showing up and doing the same boring shit again and staying tenacious. Now let's go to John Marston's barn. John tries to do all the jobs. He squares everything away, or at least tries to, but at the end of the day, he's a loose end. And when he finally makes it to the barn, and it looks like it's the end, he sends Abigail and Jack out the back. He steps out into a blinding sun and a wall of rifles. You get one last burst of deadeye, and then your final breaths are given up to the sun. It's just cinema. It's beautiful, and I'm probably gonna say a lot of things are beautiful during this whole video, but it's just something amazing. Everything leading up to this point is so manly, and I just love John as a character. He's so cool, and up to this point, he's almost been unbeatable. You've felt unbeatable up until you walk out, and you only got 6 bullets, and there's like fucking 15 dudes, and you ain't gonna go down without a fight, thinking maybe I need to get rid of the problem. Reality is, I don't think he would have gotten rid of the problem, but whatever, man. Gorgeous shot, but now let's talk about the cost. What this scene gives us is noble defiance, standing tall when a rigged world closes in. But the cost is that it doesn't fix a corrupted system. It orphans a family with a beautiful shot. If your last stand mostly protects your image, it's probably the wrong hill. And I don't mean that John cared about his image or what he looked like to others. I don't mean none of that shit. What I mean is this strange level of pride or this overconfidence thinking like, I can keep protecting. I just gotta keep sacrificing. I'll step out here and I'll get rid of these people. It's pride that I think is the danger. That's what I mean by image. But the better metric to use would be to ask yourself, will the people I love be safer because I lived, not because I died well? Now I'm gonna keep driving this shit home throughout the whole fucking video, because the win condition here is to stick around for the people who need you. You can't keep thinking that you need nothing, that I must sacrifice myself into oblivion because that's what they want of me, that's what they need from me. It's not true. It's not true at all. Be present for the people who need you in their lives. You can't keep thinking that your worth is only as good as how much you're willing to sacrifice. And I'm gonna keep repeating a lot of the same notes throughout the whole fucking video, like I said, because someone's gotta say it. Someone has gotta keep repeating it to us in some way or another. And shit, maybe this video is more for me than it is for you. Now, we're gonna get real uncomfortable now, because we're gonna talk about Spec Ops: The Line. You're trying to save Dubai, and obviously this game has a lot more intricacies to it that I'm about to explain, and it's a big old mind fuck, and it's a crazy game, and it's amazing. You should probably go play it. But at the end of the game, it offers you a final badass shootout of sorts. You can put down your gun, or you can die in the shootout, or you can kill everybody and go live in Dubai. But what I'm really gonna focus on here, and what really sticks out to me, is that it shines a flashlight on our craving for a cool doomed ending. It really clocks you as a player, because it really plays into the idea that we want this super cool, awesome, badass, boner-inducing shootout ending from a lot of places. But the truth is that it's not so simple. It preys on that idea of you loving that kind of shit. And it's not really courage, it's compulsion. Sometimes the heroic last stand isn't necessarily courage. Like I said, it's a compulsion. It's a refusal to stop performing your own legend. The hard truth here is that the brave act might be to drop the story and leave. Choose life over narrative, choose repair over applause. If I'm being honest, half my principles in the past, if you could call them principles, were just ego in a cape. They were so self-serving, selfish, self-centered. If something was going on and I wanted to cope or I wanted to justify what I did, I would just fly the banner of a principle over it and say, this is for the betterment of everything else. This is good. It's supposed to be this way. And I do all these mental gymnastics to get through it, to, again, to just justify all of this. But at some point, you're just going to have to walk away from this bullshit that we do sometimes. And that's a skill. Walking away is a skill, and it takes reps. But enough about that. It's time for Brotherhood. We're talking about Gears 3. Pinned down, no clean exits. Friend's about to be overrun. Dom makes the call. Slams the truck, detonates the fuel, clears the courtyard. It's not chest thumping. It's a friend saying, I'll carry the weight so you get to live. This exact part right here is why I even decided to make the video in the first place, because of what it reminds me of. It's zero vanity. It's all brotherhood. It's all love. And it's such a cool scene. Mad World starts to play, which, man, I still remember when I saw the first trailer for the first game and Mad World was what they used. The last line that he gives, talking to Maria, man, even even Mad World is such an interesting song, because there's a line in it that I really love that says, the dreams in which I'm dying are the best dreams I've ever had. And it's just something so beautiful to see. I love this, and it affected me when I was younger, especially like these first three games in the trilogy really molded a lot of me. I was a teenager and I thought it was so cool and aggressive and manly. And yeah, this whole scene is just about love. But here's the lesson: love over legend. Dom's choice echoes into the final victory. If sacrifice belongs anywhere, it belongs for people, not reputation. But here's the thing: don't look for opportunities to die gloriously. Look for opportunities to protect quietly. Sometimes the heroic thing is just keeping the lights on, being there, and that's the thing that I just keep rehashing over in the video, just with different examples. Heroic doesn't mean bombastic. Sometimes it might. Sometimes it would require some crazy sacrifice. One of the things that actually reminds me of, is that little kid. I don't know if you remember, a long time ago, a few years back, there's this little kid that protected his sister from a dog attack. The dog starts to attack them, and he stands in between them, and they ask him, why did you do that? And he said, well, if someone was going to die, it should be me, or something along those lines. One more mirror. Let's go to Night City and press the do it myself button and see what breaks. In the Don't Fear the Reaper ending, V chooses, you choose, to go into the Arasaka Tower assault solo. No Pan-Am, no Rogue, no Aldecaldos. It's a pure I'll do it myself run. Waves of max level Arasaka. Max, no safety net. Beat it and you still reach the end game choice. But this route preserves allies who die in other paths. It's the cleanest fantasy of self-reliance. And the loneliest. No speeches, no backup. Just you and your hottest iron and consequences. And I really love this ending. I think it's pretty neat. I think it's my favorite next to the Aldecaldos one. But the ending is painful to me, because I don't know, this doesn't really have much to do with my point, but it's just a side tangent where the game really hits home with that toxic trait that I think most of us have, but especially men, where you achieve something and you can't stop. You got to go to the next fucking thing. You're here, okay, now let's go here. Oh, that's not enough? Cool, let's go here. And it's just never enough. You keep pushing forward. Never stop fucking grinding. Wake up in the morning and rub bananas on your goddamn face. It's such a fucking lie. I hate the grind mindset. It's so goddamn stupid. And maybe I have this crazy passionate disdain for it because I fell into it for many, many years. But agency feels great, right? Now let's tally the bill. Going back to the Don't Fear the Reaper ending, it gives you this rush of absolute agency. You carry the whole thing. No one else pays. But what it warns is that even when you win, the cost to you is real. The clock on V's body still ticks. And the myth it whispers into your ear so seductively is that worth equals or is equal to doing it alone. But the healthier truth is that worth can be shared. Crew, love, community. Don't confuse I don't need anyone with strength. Going at it solo, doing everything on your own, thinking you don't need anyone or you don't want to burden anyone, feels heroic until you realize that you pushed away everyone that wanted to love you through it. Sure, maybe on one end you think, oh, all I'm going to do is hurt those around me. Why would I want to burden them or bother them with these problems? But that's not true. These people are around you for a reason. And like I said, they want to love you through it. If the plan only works when you're a ghost, maybe rewrite the plan. But all of this is because of the script we were handed when we were boys. What were you taught? Be useful. Don't need anything. Don't slow the team. So a beautiful death scene feels like validation. The one time everyone finally gets it, you mattered. But men aren't expendables with good speeches. Men are people. What if the people around you want you and not your productivity? What if they don't want what you can provide? They just love you. I think for many years now online, we saw this rise in these male spaces, this manosphere bullshit of get women, fuck bitches, get money, rip rare and rich, ripped and rare, whatever the fuck. Being a man is so much more than that and so much more valuable. So what's a better metric? Your value isn't only at the edge of life. Value lives on laundry day, at practice, in the apology. Reserve last stands for values, not vanity. Trade martyrdom for maintenance. Sleep, therapy, lifting, budgeting, prayer, community. Boring things that keep people alive. Take care of yourself. Do it for you, not for them, not for someone else. Do it for you. Don't wither away. What a terrible thing not to be able to see the limits of one's strength, to see where one can go, how far one can push. And if you can bleed for people, then you can lean on them. Being the hero who never needs anything is a costume. Real strength is letting people carry a corner of the weight. If you can bleed for your friends, you can also lean on them. That's not failure, that's family. If I trust you enough to die for you, I should trust you enough to see me cry. Vulnerability is an attribute of perfection. Being open and honest with the people around you is actual strength. That way you're not a bitch who's trying to hide behind facades, walls that you put up. That's pussy shit. Not everything is perfect. I don't always practice what I preach. I'm only a man. And here's where I'm guilty. Like a lot of people, I romanticized pain. If I can't be happy, I'll be useful. I imagined the speech, the last look, the perfect ending. Now, I want a different legacy. Not a helmet in the dust, a kitchen table that stays full. So the goal is more chairs at the table, more birthdays, more ordinary days. I just want to do taxes and laundry. I want to live a peaceful life knowing that I'm enough. Not in the sense that you need to be complacent with what you have or where you are, but that you are deserving of love, that you are good enough. So last thing, stick with me, it's simple. We, men, you, have more value than a beautiful ending. Make your last stand a long stand. Stay in the room, the friendship, the family, the work. I'm gonna need you to drop your favorite game last stand below and tell me what it cost. Then, then I need you to text someone you love. Keep living on purpose. Heroics are cool, don't get me wrong. That shit is awesome. I love a good last stand. There's so many movies and video games that I love with that. Gladiator is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that shit. I love that stuff. The point is, the heroics are sick, last stands are awesome, but don't be enveloped by the idea that you're only as good as your death. Heroics are cool, presence is cooler.